It's the day of the Academy Awards, right? It's on your hearts and minds. You have your picks made. Jimmy Kimmel is preparing even now. The hype has reached a fever pitch. So naturally, I wonder, what do you think I wonder? Try getting into my head, Scott. What do you think I wonder? I wonder which category the Transfiguration would be in. Right? Where would it be put? Transfiguration would be nominated. And the Oscar goes to the Transfiguration. Yay! Well, Jesus could not be here tonight, but we'll accept this award in his behalf. Sorry. Now, I would naturally think that it would be a drama. It's certainly not a comedy, right? And one thing you got to admit, it has to be in the foreign film category, right? Thankfully, there's no distinction between fiction and non-fiction, so we don't have to have a debate about that. Now, I'm pretty sure that it would be a favorite in the special effects category, don't you think? Yeah. And now that I think about it, best director. Who's going to vote against God? Right? Well, early in the week I was talking with Wayne about this passage, and I shared with him that there are typically two approaches to preaching this Transfiguration story. One is to see Moses and Elijah and see the law and the prophets, and Jesus as the new law written on the heart, passing of a baton, if you will. The other is to say, once you've had a mountaintop experience, you have to come down there. You have to come back to real life. What do you do with all of that? And I've preached those probably more than once. See, there's something about us that we see this story and we either want to explain it or to make it about us. We either want to explain it or make it about us. Reverend James Howell, who was a United Methodist pastor in Charlotte, North Carolina, helped me to focus this message in a blog he wrote. He said, "This text always moves me. It has no point and no takeaway. We have this nasty habit of always making the Bible about us when it's really about God. How amazing is Jesus? He glowed one day. He kept company with the greatest of the greats, Moses and Elijah. Wow. I think he's right. So we could reread the story, meditate on it, and go home. If we get a touch of Jesus, then that would be enough. We just got a touch. Yet, we still want to make it about us or try and explain it, understand it, make sense out of it. The disciples, few of the disciples, very few, were there. Peter makes the most understated comment in all of Scripture. You know what? Remember what he said? It is good that we are here with you. Well, duh. This is God's Son. And He's glowing. Of course it's good you're there. But Peter, it's still not about you. It's about Jesus. I agree with James Howell when he says, I want to preach a sermon that is simply about Jesus. About how amazing, fabulous, tender, brilliant, compassionate, wise, and holy He was and is. It's not about me, he says. Don't put me in there except as the one who stammers in awe. Something about this picture, if we just simply take it in. William Willimon looked back on the beginning of his ministry and he reflected, when I was in seminary, somebody told me that my job as your preacher was to stand in the pulpit with the Bible in one hand and today's newspaper in the other. My job was to take this old, culturally conditioned, racist, sexist, narrow Bible and relate it to the wonderful new modern world, and to do it in under 20 minutes. But notice he says, all the traffic moved in one direction. It was always the modern world rummaging about in the Bible, telling you what was possible, what was interesting, what was permissible. He continued, let's step back for just a moment and admit that we are modern people who may be limited in our ability to think about such a story. That assertion may strike you as strange, for it is of the nature of modern people to be conditioned to think that we are perfectly capable of thinking about anything. We are modern. Therefore, we are not limited by tradition or superstition or ignorance or any of those bounds that limited our forebears. We are modern. Therefore, we stand up, we look out upon the world with totally unlimited vistas. William Willimon wonders, in our infatuation with facts and data and empirical proof, our vision may have shrunk rather than expanded. We assume that mystery is only mystery until we've got it figured out. There was a brilliant magician who performed on a cruise line. Every time he did his act, the captain's parrot would be there and he would say, "It's a trick, he's a phony, that's not magic." It drove him crazy. Then one evening, as the magician was doing his act, a storm came up suddenly, and it was too much for the ship, and the ship sunk. Well, as luck would have it, the magician and the parrot were in the same life raft, and they just simply glared at one another for 3 days, not saying anything. Finally, the parrot said, "Okay, I give up. What'd you do with the ship?" In trying to solve the mystery, we may miss the mystery. Harry Emerson Fosdick said, "I would rather live in a world where my life is surrounded by mystery than live in a world so small that my mind could comprehend it all." You have something there. The best-selling novel, Lying Awake, is the story of Sister John, a cloistered nun. She was slowly drawn into the intimate presence of God through stunning, dazzling visions. It just started coming to her. An ordinary woman became a quivering mist, disappearing into pure awareness. She became an ember carried up by the heat of the invisible flame until the vacuum sucked the feeble light out of her. And then out of the darkness, a nova, more luminous than the sun. All that was her ceased to exist. Only God remained. Unfortunately for Sister John, there was a complication. Along with her visions came excruciating headaches, which demolished her for days at a time, making her unavailable for the work of the cloister and causing her to be a burden on some of the other nuns. Finally, a doctor diagnosed her with seizures and told her that she needed an operation. The operation would relieve the pain, but it might destroy the visions. What would she do? What would you do? After an intense internal wrestling match, she chose to have the operation. She decided with great reluctance to deny herself for the health and well-being of the cloister, the larger community. And sure enough, the debilitating pain was relieved. But so too was that exquisite passion, that intimate, ecstatic encounter with God. What would you choose? Is it worth it? Transfiguration is about Jesus. It's about God. It's about mystery. I want to share with you 3 stories, simply sharing it. I don't want to dissect them. Just want to share them with you. All stories purported to be true. Leonardo Diaz, who was a Colombian mountain climber, found himself stranded in a blizzard at 12,000 feet in the South Andes. He tried to call for help on his cell phone, but he couldn't get through. Why do you think he couldn't get through? Out of range, maybe? No, his cell phone minutes were up. His cell phone minutes were up. And so he struggled to keep warm and keep alive for 24 hours. And then something happened. His cell phone company called him because they wanted to know if he wanted to renew his minutes. Right? He said it was the work of angels because he was lost in the Andes. He was rescued 7 hours later. Charles Swindoll tells a story of an event that occurred several years ago to a group of young guys he pastored in a church in Southern California. They were in a mountain climbing expedition along with their youth leader. While taking in the breathtaking sights, they lost track of the trail. The heavy snow had completely covered the path. They didn't have a clue as to where they were or how to get back to the main camp. Sundown was not far away, and they weren't equipped to spend the night on these wind-swept slopes. So while trudging through the snow, entertaining thoughts just this side of panic, they suddenly heard a voice up above them from the slopes. Yelled down, "Hey, the trail is up here." They glanced up, and to their relief, they saw someone sitting up on the edge. And so, seeing that with great excitement, their adrenaline began to flow, and they all managed to climb up to that rock. Finally, they arrived, and to their surprise, the man who yelled for them was nowhere around. And there were no traces in the snow of the man ever being on that boulder. And there were no footprints around the rock. The trail, however, was stretched out in front of them, leading their way to safety. Paul Gorman tells about an experience in his life. He said, "I was in about 40 feet of water, alone. I knew I should not have gone alone, but I was very confident and I took a chance. There was not much current, the water was warm and clear and enticing. Then I got a cramp. I realized at once how foolish I was. I was not very alarmed, but was completely doubled up with a stomach cramp. I tried to remove my weight belt, but I was so doubled up I could not get to the catch. I was sinking and began to become more frightened, unable to move. I could see from my watch that there was only a little more oxygen left in the tank. I tried to massage my abdomen. I wasn't wearing a wetsuit, but I couldn't straighten out and couldn't get to the cramped muscles with my hand. I thought, I can't go out like this. I have things to do. I can't die here anonymously." He said, "I called out in my mind, somebody, something, help me." He said, "I was not prepared for what happened next. Suddenly I felt a prodding from underneath my armpit. I thought, oh no, sharks. I felt real terror and despair. But my arm was being lifted forcibly. Around into my field of vision came an eye. The most marvelous eye I could ever imagine. I swear it was smiling. It was the eye of a big dolphin. It moved further forward, nudging under, and hooked its dorsal fin under my armpit with my arm over its back. I relaxed. Hugging it, flooded with relief. Lifting me toward the surface, my stomach cramp went away as we ascended, and I relaxed with security. At the surface, it drew me all the way to the shore. It took me into the water so shallow that I began to be concerned for it, that it would be beached. I pushed it back a little deeper, where it waited, watching me, I guess to see if I was all right. I was safe in the shallowest water. Then the dolphin turned sideways, made just one sound, and went out to join the others. 3 stories. Transfiguration stories, if you will. Now, I can't stay very long with any of these three stories. If I do, I begin to ask those questions about really? Questions arise. But you'll notice that they didn't spend much time at the Transfiguration either. It was there, and it was gone. It's about Jesus. It's about God. It's about mystery. We stand in that presence. So Lent is coming quickly. I will be asked a number of times, what do you think I should give up for Lent? I'd tell Scott here, just to annoy him. But I think that's really the wrong question. The question is, what should I take up? What should I take up? Take up being more loving. Take up being in service more. I think in light of the Transfiguration, let me go with that. In light of the Transfiguration, we are called to see Jesus. And that means if you have to give up something, give up the illusion that you can fix everything. It's not easy. Give up the illusion that you can fix everything. Begin to look to the God of the Transfiguration. And if you can do that, then you'll just simply by nature give up the second, and that is give up anxiety. Because our anxiety resides around us wanting to fix everything. In the face of our daily life, we're called to remember and see the Transfiguration. God is there in mystery and love and grace for us. In that spirit, we call our archers forward and we give.